Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna explain about changing perception of language in sociolinguistic. This presentation is for the final exam, the assignment of final lesson of sociolinguistic subject. So the introduction, the tradition view of language focus mainly on structure. Rules govern system of speech and writing. However, this perspective is increasingly seen as too narrow. Wang and A argue that language today is better understood as a dynamic, multimodal, and socially embedded practice. Through a literal based review, they trace this evolution and show how language operates through gesture, spatial cues, objects, and even sensory experience, not just word. Methodology. How the study was conducted. The authors conducted a comprehensive literature review of theoretical and empirical study across diverse sociolinguistic traditions. These include classical theories like sociolinguistics overall and concept competence or performance, as well as more contemporary frameworks such as a critical discourse analysis and multimodal interaction analysis. From these studies, they identify three frameworks that shapes our changing view of language. First one is language as verbal sign. Second one is language in a multimodal construct. And the third one is language as a multimodal construct. Traditional view of language. The language as a verbal sign. In the past, language was seen mainly as speech or writing, something abstract and structured. Influential thinkers like Soth and Chomsky help solidify this view, but this approach tends to ignore rich contextual and interactive nature of language in real life. The authors argue that we need to ask deeper ontological questions, such as what actually counts as language in social contexts. These questions crucial for identifying the goals and method of social linguistics. Language in multimodal construct. Language as one mode among many. Language doesn't operate alone. It interacts with gestures, posture, clothing, facial expression, and space. This perspective treats language as a part of a multimodal language. The as a theory as part of a multimodal construct, meaning it works alongside other semiotic modes. For example, Agatha 2003 and Edgar 2008 show how identity is expressed not only through words but through visual and spatial forms. This multimodal view reveals the full complexity of how meaning is made in society. Language as a multimodal construct. The shift goes even further. Wang et al. Argue that the language itself is multimodal, not just something that exists alongside other modes. For instance, the way a sign is placed in space, the font used, or the physical gesture accompanying speech in all carry meaning. This empiric based on school in 2003 and semiotic landscape based on Jodski and Turlo in 2010 are examples of how spatial and visual elements are part of what we call language. This blur the line between language and environment. Translanguaging, metrolingualism, and polylanguaging. The article introduced a powerful framework like translanguaging, metrolingualism, and polylanguaging. These theories emphasize how people mix and blend different language and modes in real communication. For instance, someone might combine English, Indonesian, bad language, and even emoji in a single text. in a single conversation. Metrolingualism even includes smellscapes and urban design. These theories reflect the fluid and creative nature of how we actually use language in daily life, especially in multilingual cities and online space. The contribution to social linguistics. The article makes an important contribution to social linguistics by pushing the field to reconsider its basic assumption. Language is no longer treated as abstract code, but as something physical, social, and multimodal. This opens new ways to study identity, power, and communication, especially in our fast changing world shaped by globalism and digital media. It also encourages research to adopt interdisciplinary tools to better study real world language use. So in conclusion, Wang, Jin, and Lee in 2023, after a new paradigm, social linguistics must evolve to include the material, visual, and embodied aspect of language. Future research need to ask how do we study this complexity? What does this mean for teaching language as language continue to change through migration, social media, and artificial intelligence? Sociolinguistics must be ready to adapt. This article provides a strong foundation for that next step. And that's it for my presentation, and thank you guys for watching.